Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. We back in Lviv region, Ukraine, and today we're gonna go through the future perfect English tense, and let's begin. Future perfect is a verb tense used for actions that will be completed before some other point in the future. For example, the parade will have ended by the time Chester get out of bed. At 8 o'clock I will have left. So it's the future perfect. It's a verb tense used for the actions that will be completed before some other point in the future. At 8 o'clock I will have left. So by the 8 o'clock I will have left. So it's we use it for the action, to describe an action that will be finished between now and some point in the future. Like imagine that your friend asks you to take care of her cat for a few days while she goes on a trip. She wants you to come over today at noon so she can show you where to find the cat food and how to mash it up in the bowl just right so that Fluffy will gain to eat it. But you are busy this afternoon, so you ask Linda if you can come at 8 o'clock tonight instead. Here's a tip. Want to make sure your writing always looks great. So, for example, you would answer to the cat in case of the cat situation. You will say, no, that won't work. At 8 o'clock I will have left already. He says. So one more time we're gonna go to the question. So she asks you, and you wanna ask her if you can come after 8. So you say, no, that won't work. At 8 o'clock I will have left already. He says. So what does the future perfect tell us here? It tells us that Linda is going to leave for her trip sometime after right now, but before a certain point in the future, 8 o'clock. She probably shouldn't have waited until the last minute to find a cat sitter. The future perfect formula. The formula for the very future perfect tense is pretty simple. Will have plus past participle. Past participle doesn't matter if she is the subject of your sentence, singular, plural. The formula doesn't change. When do we use future perfect tense? Sometimes you can use the future perfect tense and the simple future tense interchangeably. In those two sentences there is no real difference in meaning because the word before makes the sequence of events clear. Linda will leave before you get there. Linda will have left before you get there. But without prepositions such as before, by the time that makes the sequence of the events clear, you need to use the future perfect to show what happened first. Example, at 8 o'clock Linda will leave. This means that Linda will wait until 8 o'clock to leave. At 8 o'clock Linda will have left. This means Linda will leave before 8 o'clock. So you have to be careful when you are using future, simple future or simple future perfect tense. So because it's causing confusion and misunderstanding if you will confuse the tenses. So when to use the future perfect tense? The future perfect tense is only for actions that will be complete before specified point in the future. In other words, the action you are talking about must have a deadline. If you don't mention a deadline, use the simple future tense instead of the future perfect tense. Correct. Linda will leave. Because there is no deadline here, and it will be incorrect when you say Linda will have left. A deadline can be very specific, 8 o'clock, or it can be vague, next week. It can even depend on when something else happens after the parade ends. It just has to be sometime in the future. How to make the future perfect negative? Making a negative future perfect construction is easy. Just insert not between will and have. Example: we will not have eaten breakfast before we get to the airport tomorrow morning. They will not have finished decorating the floor before the parade. You can also use the construction won't in the place of will not. They won't have finished decorating the floor before the parade. How to ask a question in future perfect tense? The formula is will plus subject plus have plus past participle. For example, will you have eaten lunch already when we arrive? Will they have finished decorating the floor before the parade? There are prepositional phrases that often go with the future perfect. By this time next week, Linda will have left for her trip. 3 days from now, we will have finished our project. At midnight, the party will have ended. Will you have eaten already? Chester will not have arrived by the time the parade is over. When I travel to France, I will have been to 10 countries. My sister will have cleaned the bathroom before the party. As soon as someone buys this chair, I will have sold all of the furniture I wanted to get rid of. Common regular verbs in the future perfect tense. For example, ask, to work, to call, to use will sound like I will have asked, I will have worked, they will have called, he will has used. There are common irregular verbs in the future perfect tense. For example, to be will have been, to have will have had, to do will have done, to say will have said, will have to get will have gotten, to make will have made, to go will have gone, to take will have taken, to see will have seen, to come will have come.
Genèse, chapitre 12. L'Éternel dit à Abraham, va-t'en de ton pays, de ta patrie et de la maison de ton père, dans le pays que je te
Small
montrerai.
detail here, get in past participle in American is gotten, and in English, British English is got. So my friends, don't forget to follow me on my channel, subscribe, and I'll see you for my next lecture.